The Lurker of Lawson. Beneath the veiled fabric of our world, where the boundaries between reality and nightmare blur, a timeless and relentless creature exists. He is the Lurker of Lawson, born from the festering regrets of disobedient children and materialized from their darkest fears. He lurks in the spaces just beyond our perception. A mirror's reflection, a flashlight's fading beam are his gateways. With a face resembling a rotten skull etched with tales of timeless torment, he is the stuff of legends. The odor that surrounds him is the putrid stench of decay, and the ghastly grind of breaking bone punctuates every move he makes. However, the Lurker doesn't appear to just anyone. He is a creature of specificity, summoned only by those children whose hearts are stained with mischief and wrongdoing. The Rhyme of Right. In the gloom by the mirror's side, flash a light where secrets hide. Naughty hearts and willful deeds call the Lurker from the reeds. Lurker, lurker, come to me, show me what I'm scared to see. Yet summoning him has its price. The child who dares this act and is caught in his clutches suffers immensely. Nightmares, unimaginable horrors, and fears made flesh fills their slumber, a constant reminder of their misdeeds. The Lurker also has the eerie ability to suck light from rooms, leaving children in complete, suffocating darkness. In the void, they feel phantom fingers slide against their skin, hear whispers of forgotten laments, and feel the icy scratch of the unseen. The Lurker's torment doesn't cease until the child atones for their misdeeds and mends their ways. For at his core, the Lurker of Lawson is a creature of twisted justice, ensuring that each child learns the price of their naughtiness. And so, in the still of the night, the next time you glimpse a fleeting shadow in your mirror, remember the rhyme and tread with caution. 1 year ago in Harper's Hollow. In the quaint town of Harper's Hollow, where cobblestone streets and Victorian houses painted an illusion of serenity, whispered tales spoke of the dreaded Lurker of Lawson. These whispers floated around like forbidden fruit, tempting the most mischievous of children. Enter Emily, a headstrong 12-year-old, her freckles spread across her nose like constellations in the sky. Emily was no stranger to mischief. Stealing apples from old Mrs. Witherby's orchard, sneaking into abandoned houses, and telling ghost stories at the dead of night was her usual fare. But even for her, summoning the Lurker was a forbidden thrill. Her best friend, Tim, often a willing accomplice in her pranks, hesitated at this particular dare. "Are you sure, Em? We've heard the stories." His voice trailed off, filled with a mix of fear and excitement. "It's just a silly legend, Tim," Emily retorted, her voice confident, even if her heart betrayed a hint of doubt. That fateful night, as shadows merged with the darkness, Emily and Tim stood before an ancient, tarnished mirror. Armed with just a flashlight, Emily began chanting the dreaded rhyme. In the gloom by the mirror's side, flash a light where secrets hide. Naughty hearts and willful deeds call the Lurker from the reeds. Lurker, lurker, come to me, show me what I'm scared to see. The air grew cold, the flashlight's beam flickered, and the mirror fogged up, the condensation forming a pattern resembling the rotting face of the Lurker. The two children stared in horror as the reflection shifted, revealing not their own scared faces, but a grotesque skeletal image. The room was suddenly filled with the nauseating smell of decay, and the bone-crunching sound echoed, sending shivers down their spines. Emily tried to scream, but no sound emerged. The room turned colder, and the feeble glow of the flashlight dimmed, giving in to the engulfing darkness. They felt an icy touch and heard soft, eerie whispers, tugging at their hair, scratching their skin, haunting them with the weight of their disobedience. Desperate to end the nightmare, Emily remembered a forgotten verse of the rhyme, said to repel the Lurker. Lurker, lurker, go away. Return to the shadows, no longer stay. Our hearts are pure, our intentions true. We seek no harm, and neither should you. But alas, the rhyme seemed ineffective. Perhaps it was their impurity of heart, their history of mischief, that rendered the words powerless. The Lurker's torment did not cease. Instead, it intensified, casting a shadow upon their lives, heavy and inescapable. Days melted into weeks, weeks into months, and each dawn brought no relief. Emily and Tim's dreams were playgrounds for the lurker, each night a canvas painted with unimaginable horrors and fears made flesh. The light bulbs in their homes would flicker and die suddenly, casting rooms into unpredicted darkness. The air was constantly tense, thick with the unseen presence of the malevolent entity they had unwittingly invited into their lives. Slowly, the two children began to change. The joy and laughter faded from their eyes, replaced by a weary maturity and understanding far beyond their years. Knowing that their actions brought this doom, Emily decided to mend her ways. She became a model of good behavior, helping her parents, excelling in school, and avoiding any form of mischief. But Tim, throughout the years, continued down his dark, misbehaving path. Despite being persistently warned and tormented by this ominous creature due to his incessant bad behavior, Tim paid no heed. He lived under the illusion that the threats of the lurker were empty and could be overlooked without consequence. That was until the chilling anniversary night of their first encounter. Enveloped in the suffocating darkness, Tim rested in his bed, lost in the heavy slumber of the damned, entirely oblivious to the sinister shadows weaving through the air around him, casting an oppressive gloom that drowned the room in a silent, fearful anticipation. He lay there, vulnerable and exposed, blissfully ignorant of the impending doom whispering through the dense night. With malevolent deliberation, the Lurker of Lament slinked closer, its formless, shadowy countenance looming over Tim's resting body. The air grew thick with the palpable dread, bearing down upon the room with a heaviness that made the very atmosphere seem saturated with unseen terror. Silence shrieked through the space, only broken by the ragged breaths escaping Tim's parted lips, unaware of the nightmare unfolding within his supposed sanctuary. The time for whispered warnings had long passed. The hour of reckoning had dawned, bringing with it a chilling finality. With a movement as swift as it was brutal, the lurker reached down, its grasp invisible but colder than the grimmest winter night, sharp as the blade of betrayal. With a merciless snap, it bit down, severing one of Tim's fingers, the pain shooting through the air but never reaching Tim's subconscious, locked away in the fortress of his dreams. The room seemed to tremble with the unspeakable act, the shadows growing deeper, thicker, as if absorbing the pain and terror that should have been Tim's to bear. Each year following, under the cover of the darkest nights, the vile ritual was repeated. Steadfast in his reckless defiance, Tim continued to disregard the silent, looming threats hanging over his head like the sword of Damocles, never bending, never yielding to the path of rectitude. Year after year, the lurker claimed more of him, fingers first, then toes, followed by arms and legs, methodically and relentlessly, until nothing remained of the boy but a tormented husk, bereft of the appendages that once danced to the rhythm of mischief and heedless revelry. Each bite, each piece taken, was a symphony of silent screams and unseen agony, echoing through the cavernous abyss of the nightmare realm the lurker called home. And so, the tragic symphony continued, weaving through the tapestry of nights, each note a chilling reminder of the unseen war waged in the shadowy corners of Tim's room. Unyielding and unrepentant, Tim was slowly erased from the canvas of life, his essence devoured by the relentless, unforgiving jaws of the lurking entity, patiently waiting, always watching in the unseen crevices of the world. Dare to delve into the unknown with chilling ghost tales. Then subscribe for weekly videos of the eeriest tales and darkest legends now.